What's up guys, Jades back here with another Teen Wolf video. And before we get into the video, about 68% of you guys who have not watched these videos or who have been watching these videos are not subscribed. So if you guys could please subscribe to the channel, help us reach our goal of 4,000 subscribers before the end of the summer, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be explaining something that a lot of people have been confused on as of late since I started covering fantasy fights again, and also in general for me just talking about the alpha pack on the channel, and that is the concept of the lunar eclipse. So I've been going in multiple comment threads of my comment sections trying to correct as much misinformation as I can, because some people have the lunar eclipse correct and some people have no clue what the hell they're talking about. So in today's video, hopefully I'm going to clear up all the confusion in regards to the lunar eclipse that appeared in the episode Lunar Ellipse, which is a confusing title. I have no clue why they didn't just call the episode Lunar Eclipse. It would have been much more easier. I've been calling it Lunar Eclipse all these years, but apparently it's Lunar Ellipse. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the Lunar Eclipse today. So yeah, first little bit of Teen Wolf lore on the channel in a while, but I feel like this is something important we should talk about because it's something that's confusing within the community, and I want to clear it up for you guys. So yeah, if you guys like Teen Wolf content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is the place you want to be for all things Teen Wolf. Now, let's get into the video. So, the best example I could use to explain the lunar eclipse is probably the fights that take place in the season 3 mid-season finale, mainly between Ducalian, Jennifer Blake and Derek, and Jennifer Blake versus Ethan, Aiden, and Kali. Now, the way the lunar eclipse works in Teen Wolf is that once it hits its peak for 15 minutes, so there's a 15-minute window, all werewolves, regardless of whatever rank you have, this includes the Beast of Javudan too, so alphas, betas, omegas, the Beast of Javudan, whatever they lose their powers and they essentially become humans for 15 minutes, and they're at their weakest state. They're at their weakest state that they could be at, pretty much. So it's essentially like being stripped of all your werewolf powers and turning back into a human in a sense. But you're still a werewolf, you just don't have access to all your powers. So you can't flash your eyes, you can't use your super strength, agility, durability, blah blah blah, this and that. So yeah, and this is pretty apparent when we see the clear power gap between Ducalian and Jennifer Blake when the lunar eclipse is at its peak compared to when it's about to hit its peak and the effects are still kicking in, but it hasn't really hit its peak yet. So yeah, I'm gonna explain it in probably the simplest way I can and then call it a day because it's not gonna be too long of a video. So in season 3 episode 10, Jennifer Blake had the same power that she had in Lunar Eclipse, and she decided to stay under the protection of the McCall pack because she knew she was not strong enough to take on the Alpha pack without the Lunar Eclipse weakening them and thus taking their powers away. And we see that Kali is stronger than Jennifer Blake all throughout that episode as she's chasing her and Jennifer Blake is bitching and running away from her. And the reason why I say Jennifer Blake has all the power she did in Lunar Ellipse is because of one scene in particular. So Kali is about to attack her. Jennifer is in an elevator and she's trying to escape and run away from Kali, and her eyes glow into her Duroc eyes when the Duroc uses her power. And she still has the telekinesis, and she uses that telekinesis, the same one she used to kill Kali with all the glass in season 3 episode 12, to push Kali several feet away from her, send Kali flying down the hallway as Jennifer Blake escapes on the elevator. Now, if Jennifer Blake had that much power to defend herself like that and pretty much dispose of Kali with ease and pretty much not run away, then why was she bitching and complaining and needing the protection of the McCall pack? And this goes back to what I said before when I said that Jennifer Blake is not as strong as Teen Wolf News, because Teen Wolf News, God, I don't even know how he has 22K, but this man has literally split the fan base and has fucked up all the lore in the community. So it's up to like me and Croheezy to help fix it as much as we can. and he has literally most, if not all, of the community thinking Jennifer Blake is stronger than the Alpha twins and Kali, when that's simply not the case. So yeah, when we see her fight Kali again in Lunar Eclipse, the Lunar Eclipse is already there. It's already nighttime. The only difference is that it has not hit its peak. And another thing about the Lunar Eclipse that people fail to understand for some weird reason, and I still don't get this to this day because it's not that hard of a concept to get, is that it works in the same way as the full moon does in Teen Wolf. So you know how in season 1, Derek kind of explained how the full moon worked to Scott McCall. The Lunar Eclipse is pretty much the same thing. So like how the full moon's effects can still affect werewolves throughout the day and even throughout the night before it hits its peak, it's pretty much the same thing with the Lunar Eclipse, which would explain why Ethan and Aiden didn't have that much of an impressive showing against Jennifer Blake as much as they did earlier in the season throughout pretty much everybody else. And it also explains why Kali seemed a little bit weak and a little bit out of shape when it came to fighting Jennifer Blake, because even going back and rewatching that fight, 'cause I just rewatched it like not even 10 minutes before I made this video, it seemed like Kali wasn't herself when she was fighting Blake. Seemed like she was out of it a little bit, and that could be due to the effects of the Lunar Eclipse slightly taking effect on the werewolves, as we see the werewolves aren't at their absolute peak. So yeah, it was pretty easy for Jennifer Blake to take advantage of that, which is what she did when she came literally flying into Derek's loft, all big and bad. Literally the complete opposite of how she was acting 2 episodes prior, when she was a bitch and pretty much hiding behind Scott McCall and Stiles Stilinski. So yeah, she came in like a freaking powerhouse because it was the Lunar Eclipse. All the werewolves were starting to lose their powers. The effects were starting to kick in. And literally all the werewolves even said they didn't want to fight. Well, they didn't really outright say they didn't want to fight, but they were trying to stay away from conflict as much as possible because they knew they couldn't really protect themselves because of the effects of the Lunar Eclipse. So Jennifer Blake, of course, like I said, took advantage of that, and that's how we ended up with Ethan and Aiden losing their alpha status and Kali dying in the tragic way that she did. Now, the next fight and the last fight I'm going to talk about before I end off this video is the fight between Jennifer Blake, Derek Hale, and Ducalian. Now, we've never seen Ducalian fight at 100% ever in Teen Wolf. I don't care what the hell Teen Wolf News will tell you. He's lying his fucking ass off. He has no clue what the fuck he's talking about. We have never seen Ducalian fight 100%. Let me repeat this for the people who didn't hear in the back. We have never seen Ducalian fight at 100%. I don't give a fuck what anybody else is telling you. I'm telling you the truth. We've never seen him fight at 100%. And that is because of the same thing I've been trying to get across this whole video. The effects of the Lunar Eclipse kicking in prior to the full effect of it before it hits the peak, which essentially takes away all werewolf powers, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Now, Ducalian was probably fighting, I would argue, this is now speculation. This whole segment I'm about to get into is now speculation. Like, it's not fact, unlike the other stuff I mentioned in this video. It's just pure speculation on my part right now. So I'm assuming that Ducalian was probably fighting at maybe between 30% and 50%. So he's probably between 30% and half of his full power, because he pretty convincingly destroyed all sense of badassery Derek Hale had in mere seconds, and destroyed Jennifer Blake pretty convincingly and pretty bad too, to the fact that we didn't see her for like 3 minutes on screen after she got knocked the fuck out by Ducalian. So yeah, and it's crazy because Jennifer Blake took advantage of the other alphas who were obviously weaker than Ducalian, because Ducalian's clearly by far the strongest member of that pack. I mean, pretty apparent he's the leader. And Jennifer Blake, she looked fucking terrified when he started transforming. on top of that as well. So yeah, all those sacrifices she got did not make her nearly as powerful as Ducalian, and the only reason Ducalian even lost was because of his big ass ego and wasting time not killing Jennifer Blake when he had the chance, and not taking not taking advantage of the fact that he was the strongest person in the room. So yeah, that's essentially how the lunar eclipse works in Teen Wolf. And also, when the lunar eclipse fully hit its peak, we saw that Jennifer Blake took the absolute most advantage of that, and she beat the shit out of Ducalian, pretty much almost killing him, bashing his head in over and over again, leaving like a big ass pool of blood behind his cranium. So yeah, that's the lunar eclipse explained in a nutshell. I tend not to be that great at explaining things, but I try to explain things in the simplest way possible that I can. So hopefully you guys understood everything that I said and everything's clear, and the confusion about the lunar eclipse is no more after this video. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, leave a like on this video if you like my explanation and breakdown of the lunar eclipse and how it works in Teen Wolf, the proper context of how it works in Teen Wolf, not none of this Teen Wolf news, speculatory, oh I believe Jeff Davis, even though Jeff Davis has lost his touch bullshit from that god-awful channel. No, this is the real deal. I never lie to any of my subs. The OGs from when I first began my channel can tell you that for a fact. So yeah, you're getting the proper information here, no misinformation at all. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm Jades Corner. Make sure you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace, love, and positivity as always. More videos to come every day except Sunday for the summer, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Deuces.